guys? Happy hump day or Wednesday. I had to figure out what day it was. I'm feeling actually pretty good, so I wanted to go ahead and make a video. Compared to how I was feeling earlier this week, depression sucks. So I thought I'd use like this little period of non-depressiveness to talk to y'all. But I'm doing okay. I'm starting like a new therapy this week. I'm good. I'm taking care of myself. Working through the things that are going on in my mind. This week I'm uploading a new blog post for my blog, which I'm actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure if I've even told y'all about that. Y'all should definitely check out my blog I launched this month as a part of the We Matter 2019 campaign. It's Julius with 2 S's, that's 4. 2 S's, creates.com. So juliuscreates.com. I will be uploading blog posts and videos and just a whole bunch of other different things onto there, along with YouTube and Instagram and all of that. But sort of just trying to spread that mental awareness reach a little bit further. So I'm definitely was a manic decision at the time, but I'm going for it. I'm sticking with it. So I'm super excited about a collaboration that I did here in North Carolina called The Depression of Winter. And basically just talking about how winter sucks, especially for people like me. But yeah, that's what the blog post is about. You should definitely go check it out. It'll be up there on Friday. But today on this video, I wanted to talk about SAD, or I think that's how you do the acronym. It's either SAD or SAD. I'm pretty sure it's just SAD. But because you're sad. That's not why. But seasonal affective disorder is basically it's a type of depression and anxiety, I think, more so the depressive side, that happens various times throughout the year or just once throughout the year for a specific period. And it's typically related to, the seasons. So, summertime, people feel very pumped. It's summer, it's warm outside, it's sort of that energy. People are going out, it's rooftops, it's all of that. Typically, people are fine. It's in the winter, in Chicago where it's negative 50 degrees today, that people sort of, and it's gloomy and shitty outside and it's wet and you still have to go to work. And it's just January really is the Monday of all months. It just is. But so yeah, winter sucks for almost everybody. But for people, so for people who are predisposed to mental illnesses or just I'm not really a doctor, so also before y'all take what I'm about to say, I'm not a doctor. I'm saying this based off what I know. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please let me know in comments. So don't yeah, this is just my experience. So seasonal affective disorder for me, I guess it could happen in the summer, it could happen various times throughout the year, I don't know. But for me, I typically experience it in the winter. Winter has always been accompanied by depression, hence why my blog post is called The Depression of Winter, to talk about it. But no, this has been something that before I even knew what depression was, and I think obviously this is part of just being a human. When I was a kid, whenever it would rain or snow or we'd have especially during the winter, I always hated January and February, and I always hated when it would rain outside because my mood would just drastically drop. It would be a terrible day or a terrible week, and I would just feel literally I don't want to do anything. When I was younger, it didn't really jump to I want to die. It was more so just I hate school, I hate everything, this all sucks, I wish it would stop. And that's how it sort of, now it's when I wake up and it's gloomy or it's winter, I literally wake up and I'm I hope I get hit by a bus, which I recently found out is not a normal thing, because I never thought of that as depression before. I know that's not just the only thing that's depression, but let's back up explaining it. So in the winter time, I have it less when I'm down south. I think that's a big reason for me living down here. But even when I was in Chicago this past winter, this past sort of Christmas holiday college break, it was weird because it was the first time I was in Chicago for the longest period of time. That was the longest time I was in Chicago for the winter since graduating from high school in 2015. So I was in Chicago because normally I'm out of there and I travel or something else, and I'm only there for 3 or 4 days. This time I was there for 2 weeks. And it was just cold for the most part, and gloomy and rainy, and it wasn't even that cold where it snowed and looked pretty. It was just rainy and it was just nasty outside. And that literally, even though I was on break, even though I was home and with friends, I literally started feeling down. I wouldn't say depressed. I'd say down. I started feeling, my mood dropped, and I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to even watch TV. There was nothing good on Netflix. All my motivation for everything was gone. Motivation to eat, motivation to listen to music, and I love music. It just felt like nothing was, you know how you eat and something that you've been craving for a while, like that satisfaction. I didn't feel that satisfaction. I wasn't getting that from anything. So if you eat something that you've been let's say you've been really craving something and you eat something that's not that, that's what it felt like. It felt like, yeah, I'm satisfied, I'm full, but something's missing in my life. And that's sort of how I've been feeling this entire month. A little bit less so since I came back down to North Carolina. There's been ups and downs. But for the most part, yeah, it's been a pretty bad month. Not as bad as last year though, where this is how, well, that's the thing. So that's why it's so scary, is that for me, I'm thinking that this whole month is how things started last year and then eventually got worse, which is what has changed my idea of depressive, or being a depressive episode or being depressed. Now looking back on it, I've had, now, hold on, excuse me. I'm not sure if this is just being bipolar or if this is seasonal affective disorder. It could be a mixture of both, because sometimes people have both. So just wanted to say that. But for the past 4 years at least, because I know while being in college, just having this semester schedule, I can track my winters and just know exactly what I was doing. Each winter I have been having depressive episodes, and either a few of them or a lot. And previously to being diagnosed as bipolar, I always thought of depression as being you're depressed for months, and it has to you have to want to hurt yourself, or want to kill yourself, or be thinking just the worst thoughts. You have to literally just be rock bottom. And I don't necessarily think that's true anymore. Technically, I'm pretty sure the DSM-5 says that you have a depressive episode or 4 or 5 days that you have those symptoms, that's being depressed. So you can be depressed for 2 weeks and then the next week not be depressed, I think. So looking back on that explains a lot in terms of my moods, because some winters, when I was in London, I would be depressed for a week or 2 weeks or maybe a month, and then the next month I'd be fine, or maybe these 2 weeks here and then those 2 weeks here, and then probably was having some mixed episodes in there. I never thought of that as depression. I thought of being I was homesick. I was damn, I hate London, I want to leave. But then I was also I love London, and it was just this weird I attributed it to all these different factors besides depression, because when I have been depressed, it's been very long and drawn out. Last year I was depressed from January to May, and I was or June basically. I was depressed for a long time, and it was just so bad where it was I would never want to return there ever again. This sucks, but I can handle that. No. So it was just, that's how I thought of depression. So now looking how I am here and this year, and just the last few weeks, it sort of feels how I was in London. I'm not wanting to end it all, in the world around me or anything, but I do wake up some days. So this is what I was talking about at the beginning. I do wake up some days and I'm just I wish I would get hit by a bus today, or I wish I didn't wake up. And it's not I'm seriously planning these things, I'm gonna plan to get hit by a bus. No, I go on with my normal day, but in my mind, I seriously that's the first thing that jumps to my mind. I wake up and I'm everything is hard. It's hard to get up, it's hard to brush my teeth, it's hard to go to the bathroom, it's hard to shower, it's hard to do all of these normal things. It feels there's weights on me, and I don't want to do any of that because I just want to stay in bed. And that's why I wish I would get hit by a bus. My friend, I asked him the other day, one of my good friends at Wake, and apparently that's not how normal people feel, or normal people, you know what I mean, people who don't suffer from mental illnesses, or who've never suffered from mental illness. He says that when he doesn't want to get out of bed, he wakes up and just feels today sucks, and then just pushes through, but he doesn't think about death or think about not being there, or any of that. So that's news to me. I thought everyone thought it, and I don't mean people being oh, just kill me now when something's hard. It's more oh, just kill me now 80%, if someone hears me wouldn't mind. That's how I feel. But so yeah, apparently that's not a thing, which got me thinking about being depressed, is that when I jump to these things during like those bad weeks that I'm having is that like depression, just because it's in the abstract form of like suicide ideation or like death, I like idealizing death or whatever. I don't know. If it's in the abstract, is that normal to think about? And it's only a crisis, and maybe it's severe depression when you're actually planning it. I think that like the goal is not to get to planning it, and that like these are warning steps, which is why I'm switching my therapies and I'm going to see somebody this week. But just like understanding that. So apparently, I've had a depressive episode, which I didn't even realize because it didn't feel that bad as much as like the depression last year, but at the same time, like, don't want to go through anymore. Like this, where I am right now, is like where I want to stay, because like the last 5-6 days, I have to look at my mood calendar, like sucked. I remember, it's hard for me to remember like why I couldn't get up the couch. Like it literally, like I'm thinking about it, I'm like, were things that bad? Like, were things that bad in your life? No, they weren't. But like, why couldn't I move from the couch? Why was my apartment? Y'all should have seen it. It was disgusting. There was like, it's also probably because I drank a little bit and I probably shouldn't have drank, and I'm like drinking again. It's like, I'm rambling now. But yeah, so I just sort of wanted to get in and talk more about like that in terms of like seasonal, because people might be wondering like, how are you like are you like okay? Like, are you like, people have been like messaging me like saying, are you good? Are you depressed? How are you this way? How are you still able to talk about these issues? And it's just like realizing that recovery is a process. It truly is. And that like people have ups and downs. I'm not on medication. And although like I was riding the manic wave or like hypomanic wave for like the past months, like basically June until like now, winter sucks and it's gloomy and it affects my mood, and I like, people might think that that's just like, oh, everyone hates the winter, everyone hates the snow, everyone hates like when it's gloomy outside. Of course people like it when it's sunny outside, and it's like, it's not just that. It's not like I have no control over it. It's not like I like genuinely will wake up, like if I could, I would genuinely try to wake up and be happy about like the world, happy about like what's going on, like, but I can't. And it's not like as fast, like as soon as it's sunny, I'm good again. Like if it's like cloudy for 2 weeks and like just cold and stuff, and like how it was in Chicago, I felt that for like way after that. So even when it's sunny, like it's sunny today, and I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, well, I'm feeling better. But like, it doesn't like happen like an on and off switch. It's hard because it's just difficult to explain, but I hope I did somewhat of a good job. All right, I am rambling. I will hit y'all back with another video soon. Remember, check out the new blog post on Friday, juliuscreates.com. Super excited. It's a photo series actually as well. It's a photo series blog, so you should check it out. And subscribe, like, share, comment, and stay awesome.